Yo, what's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in wherever and whenever you were watching this. For you, those of you who do not know me, my name is Tyler Brewer. I've been trading in the crypto space since 2019. Guys, today we're gonna be covering just some current market, pretty much current market state, a little bit of technical analysis. We're gonna kind of go over some things that I've gone over way back when. I know we're about like 25, 26 videos into this. We do one each week, so that's about half of a year. We're about half a year in into doing these videos. So I kind of want to touch base even with some things that we started off in, real early on from, researching projects and just things along that line. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys and we'll go ahead and get started. Make sure I share the right one. I believe it's this. Share. Boom. Sick. All right. And then this needs to get out of my way. How do I move this? That. Nope. I cannot. This. Nope. But that. There we go. Okay. Cool. And let's get off the YouTube. How about some our favorite websites, right? CoinGecko. And what is this? We got TradingView. How about okay, dope. So let's start off on CoinGecko. Those of you who know me, we like that. We like the dark look. I want to show the stats here. And cool. So as far as market goes, we're down. We're pretty much at a trillion, almost even. Guys, I know we were at like literally 3 trillion. We have it over here. I think I'm actually on it right now. Yeah, 3 trillion we touched, and we've retraced quite a bit. Now, nothing crazy. If you've been watching from over here, we're just in a retracement. If you've been watching from up here, you'd be like, yo, Tyler, what are you talking about, bro? We're in a recession. I lost my entire bag, bro. Hopefully that's not the case. If it is, we're gonna work on regrowing it. So let's go ahead, come back over here. So market cap, as you can see, we're at about a trillion. You can see right here 1.08 trillion to be exact. Trading volume looks like 1,000 million billion, 65 billion for the 24 hours. Now, coin wise, nothing too crazy as far as 24-hour returns goes. We got a 20%. But pretty much everything else is kind of moving slow at the moment. I know Bitcoin looked like it wasn't moving so hot. We have not sure what this project is, to be honest with you, but looks like it's been pumping pretty decent. 24-hour volume looks like about 2.5 mil. As far as that goes, I mean, there's not too many main tokens here that I'm looking at up towards the top. Let's see. Hour goes, nothing too crazy. So let me go to here. Let's check out the coin. My guy, come on. Don't send me a bunch of emails, please. Y'all are gonna sign me up to some new email subscriptions. Just playing. So as far as portfolio goes, these are just coins I like to watch. Most of these coins I was either holding on to or am looking to re-enter into them. So a lot of these you can see they've taken a hit. There's actually one of them I've been looking at, D5 Pulse Index. This one took a tank compared to what it's been at. I believe the all-time high for it is about 700, maybe 600. Yeah, about 700, 656. Now, the past 30 days, even the year hasn't been looking so hot. But honestly, guys, long term, as far as tokenomics go, you can see we don't have too much. Now, when tokenomics, Tyler, what are they, right? Tokenomics meaning like economics, but for tokens, right? So total supply, meaning how much total do they have? Now, someone will say max supply, some will say circulating supply, and then total supply, right? So if it said max supply, like 100K or not 100K, a million, right? But we have total supply. So total supply would be boom, and then the actual circulating supply is there. So circulating means around, moving around. Total supply means how much we're allowing at the moment. And if there was a max supply, that would be as much in existence as possible. So you can see over here the market cap. You have the 24-hour trading volume, meaning how much money is flowing into it on a 24-hour basis. I actually really like this project long term. Right now, it might not be going so crazy, but DeFi in general, I mean, this is just an index. And if you come over here, if you're new to crypto, I like CoinGecko. If you look over here, you can pretty much everything's on here as far as categories. You can create like a little portfolio where you watch stuff, watch lists, NFTs, a bunch of stuff. There's little rewards right here, and you can get free stuff. And then over here, you can search the coins. On the right hand side, mostly they have the contract the hash for it, the hash code. They have the websites over here, pretty much everything you need to know. And then if you scroll down, actually, if you don't know where to find a project, I like this. It's super dope. You can come down here and it'll actually show you, if you click see all trading pairs, it'll show you every swap or exchange you can get it on. And then back to this overview. I think that's pretty much everything I can think of at the moment. But yeah, so and sometimes too, like I like this, if you have 100 DeFi polls, how much is a USD? You can see boom. But what I like to do is I like to come on here and check out their, either the community or the website and really kind of get an inside look of what we're looking at. Now, this is more or less on the research side. So if it's like something like, I just show you this project, right? Like, yo, bro, I just saw you today. I literally just came across your video, or you're watching this live, whatever it is. Always research something, just because I'm saying something, or authority of a figure, or a figure of authority, I literally just said that backwards, is telling you something, you don't always want to believe it. You always want to take it, okay, understand what they're saying, and then do your own research. Just because someone says, yo, yeah, I have a world record for teaching cockroaches how to sing, you're gonna believe somebody and be like, oh, is this guy bullshitting me, or is he being real? Obviously it's a bizarre scenario, but besides the point, DeFi Pulse Index, this is their website, and you can see down here underlying tokens that give you a little bit of the breakdown here. And most of the time they have like a white paper, and it'll tell you about the project. Now, if you're not new to crypto, you're probably like, yo, bro, I know all this. Why you tell me this? Well, because sometimes there are people who don't, and it's very important to share the value and information with everybody. So this is a project I'm pretty aware about, so I'm not going to go into it, but I just want to kind of show you guys, if you're new, how to come in here and research a project. Now, the reason I clicked this one specifically is because I've been watching it, holding it for quite a while now, but you can see all-time lows about 2 months ago. I'm grateful to say I copped a little bit. I think it was about $60. It wasn't 53, the all-time low. I'm not gonna, yeah, bro, I got that perfect snipe, I want to say it was like 60 or 70 bucks. But all-time high, I mean, you see that too. And the thing I like is the tokenomics. So there's only 371,000 coins. Well, what does that mean, Tyler? Well, if there's only 370,000 microwaves, microwaves might be a little more valuable or expensive. It's like a limited edition car or a shoe. They're more expensive because what? Supply and demand. Now, I like this because it's an index of DeFi projects. And if you go in there, you can see exactly what projects and how it's broken down. I'm not going to go into that today, but I actually like this token long term. If you're looking for something to hold, more of a comfortable hold, this project I would say is one of my go-tos, along with let me go back here. Come on, my guy. Come on. What's going on here? All right, let me do this again. Another project, so that's DeFi Pulse. It's an index of the DeFi side of things. Blanking on words. And then there's also the metaverse index. So it's a index of, I think it's like 30 metaverses. This one as well, tokenomics look dope. Trading volume isn't as much, not as sexy of a all-time high, but where you can see about a year ago, $26 was the all-time low. We're only about $10 above that. If you're looking to that dollar cost average in or buy a project and hold long term, I think I'm bullish on metaverses in general. So if you're bullish on the metaverse, it's something you could look at. And again, you can come in here and you can see the underlying tokens, which ones are based off of, and exactly how they go about choosing which projects they're indexing, I guess, if that makes sense. So again, super cool. If you want to know anything about a project, most of the information is right here. I like CoinGecko, my personal opinion. CoinMarketCap is another website where you can use it. I just don't. I personally don't like it for my own reasons. We're not going to go into why. It doesn't really matter, but I just like CoinGecko. This is my biased opinion. But yeah, another project I'm bullish on long term. Again, because I'm bullish on the metaverse. Not even necessarily the projects they have right now, but the metaverse in general, and same with DeFi. So that's why I personally like them. If you don't like either one of those, if you don't like the metaverse or DeFi, then maybe that's not for you. Again, none of this is financial advice. Trading and investing involves risk, and risk means potential loss. Sorry, we always got to say that. Didn't say it earlier, so we got to say it now. I'm recording this. Okay, cool. But yeah, so portfolio wise on here, guys, you know, there's some projects I'm looking to either mark up or show you, see what's going on there. But yeah, I just want to check these things out. Amadis. I'm trying to remember what this project is off the top of my head. Let's see. Anything else I can think of? We got LooksRare. If you guys don't know what LooksRare is, it's just a more dope version of OpenSea. They just reward you for doing OpenSea, like things that OpenSea doesn't. So, like if you saw NFT on there, they literally reward you in looks, and then you can stake the looks on their website. Cool, right? Energy Web Token is another one I'm actually bullish on long term. If you guys aren't familiar, I actually just I don't know if I dropped it in the Telegram chat or not, but if not, let me pull this picture up for you. Done airdropping that. God, I have a lot of stuff pulled up. So resume share. Let's see, new share. We're gonna share this. Boom. So owned by BlackRock, right? So BlackRock and Coinbase recently just partnered. And what happened was recently, after they partnered, a whale bought $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. We don't know who, aka we don't know who. BlackRock. Oh my god, I think I choked on something. Need a little drink. But this is my personal opinion. It could be somebody else. I just don't know anybody else that's going to be investing $3 billion in one asset. But you know, this is just my opinion. This is my thinking. So they partner with Coinbase, right? They buy it OTC, meaning it doesn't affect the actual market. So when OTC means just over the counter, it's the same way the exchanges get it. When you buy it off the exchange, it affects the exchange rate. When you buy it from the miners, where the coins come from, so you know, like how do you get a broker? You know, how do you buy from the miner? Well, you meet somebody. You kind of have to know somebody, right? And if you know somebody to know somebody, most likely, you know, you might know a couple people. So this whale buys 3 billion worth of Bitcoin OTC. It doesn't affect the market when they buy it. But now what happens if this, we don't know who, drops $3 billion into Coinbase on the market? What happens to the price? Right? The price comes down. And what happens is whales, all the big time players, banks, BlackRock, especially, is going to be buying it. And really, I mean, any company they own or, you know, have a share in, however you want to say that, if any of them participate, they're also benefiting from that as well. But this is just something I'm thinking about, something, you know, a few people I learned from as well are talking about too. So let me go ahead and share my other screen and we'll go into the charts and markups and stuff. So sweet. I think that's the right one. Sweet. Cool. Now total market cap, here we are. Month time frame. Honestly, I think we're gonna probably come around, maybe even touch this, wick down and touch this this level right here, the last level of support. So pretty much what this is, if you guys don't know what fibs are or how I personally use fibs, what we do is we measure from this, you know, markets going up. So what I do is we start the tool and we move it in the direction we want the market to move. Now it's not necessarily always the direction we want it to move, but more or less the direction we're expecting or thinking about. So theoretically you can I'll show you in a second. I don't want to break it down too much, but let me show you this and I'll explain what I'm talking about. So if we're moving up, right, you start from the low to the high, the most recent low to the high. Well, Tyler, why are you not using this one? Came down. Well, this is the actual bottom of the candle. So we're going to go down there. This is the highest candle. So I'm going to use that wick. Now, what normally happens is it will come down into the zone and it'll retest and keep going in a trending market. Now, this didn't happen. It broke through. Well, the reason I like the fibs is because we can see percentage-wise what we're retracing. So this is 100% of the move. So from this bottom to here, we're measuring with this Fibonacci tool the percentage, right? So when the market comes through, so we can all agree from this bottom to here is 100% of the move. Now, on the left-hand side, we can see these percents, 23.6, 38.2, 50%, 61.8. I'm not going to go into why we're choosing those levels right now. I'm going to explain how I use the tool. So we have 100% of the move, right, from the bottom to the high. Now, when it starts coming down, right, we retrace 23.6% of the move. We have now retraced 38.2% of the move. We have now retraced 50% of the move, right? Half of the move, half of this 100% is right here. I'll agree on that because we're using the tool that's showing us. I just want to explain this, and I'm not trying to explain it like we're dumb. Some people don't know, and if you don't know, obviously it's a little important to know. So, this is half, 61.8, 78.6, 88.6. Now, I call these the last levels of support. I like to break it down in terms where everybody can understand. You know, if an 8-year-old can't understand, you most likely don't know how to. If you don't know how to explain it to an 8-year-old, you most likely don't know exactly what you're talking about. So I want to break it down like we're kids. I want to make it simple, guys. I don't want to sit in front of the charts 20 hours a day and what the hell's going on. I have 400 indicators on here. I like to keep it stupid simple. There's some indicators I've used in the past. Do I like them? Yeah, sure, but I like to keep it stupid simple. I like the RSI. It's really about it. So, um, and the fib, a couple tools, basic support, resistance zones, and pretty much market psychology, really. So we have this whole tool. I know I'm getting off topic. There's so many different things I want to go into, but I'm just trying to keep it basic so you guys can understand if this is brand new to you or you're brand new watching my video, what we're looking at here. So again, we have this measured move. But what normally happens when we measure these moves, right, is it will come in this 50% to 61.8% zone. I'll mark it right here in a box. It usually will come in this zone. And when it does, it will retrace up. Well, what does that mean, Tyler? Well, it pretty much just goes, it means like, it's going to come in the zone, boom, right, from here, here, and retrace. That's normally what happens. It doesn't always happen. It's just normally what happens. Now we have the last level of support. This is where most of the liquidity is sitting, right? This is where most of the buyers are. Since we broke through this right here, right? We broke through, we never retested this level. And actually, we can even say it's right here. We never really retested this level. And even it wicked up all the way to perfectly almost, guess what? The last level support right here, which is the about, what is that, 718 million, I think it is, yeah, right here, 718 billion roughly, 1718.5 billion. It sounds so weird saying it like that. But right here we have the last level supports, right? 78.6, 88.6. And I'm going over this fast, but I'm trying to I want to cover a couple other things here too tonight. I want to cover, a couple markets and analyze a couple things. But so we have these are our last levels of support. This is our first level, the last level, number 2. This is where most of the buyers are sitting, right? Most of the buyers, we haven't really retested this level, right? It was a ceiling. It broke through the ceiling, but we never saw a retest on that ceiling to make it a floor. Tyler, what are you talking about, bro? You're talking about ceilings and floors. Okay, well, right here we have a ceiling and a floor. So at one point, right, this was a ceiling. And if we go on a smaller time frame, I can show you. I don't understand it, so we're gonna go like this. So at one point we had I'm gonna delete this. We're gonna make a new zone. So at one point we had a ceiling right here, right? The market resisted this zone. Right there, you can say it's right there. So the market came up here, resisted. It was a ceiling. We can call it a ceiling, right? Boom, hits the ceiling. If you jump, you can't go any higher. It's a ceiling. What happens is it breaks through that ceiling and it will retest. And that's on that retest is where I look to enter. If it doesn't retest, I do not enter. Simple. Tyler, what if it doesn't retest? I don't enter. Tyler, what if it does retest? I'm entering. Based on, as long as it follows my other thing. So it broke through, right? It broke through, hit the ceiling, boom, broke through, comes down, retest, takes off. Well, we never really retested this level. It just broke through. Now you can see we haven't exactly done it yet, but it happened right here, right? We perfectly wicked down, boom, hit it, and then took off. Now, same thing, I believe is going to happen over here. Now, exactly where? I can't tell you the exact level. I can only tell you based off my analysis, what I've done in the past. This is just pattern recognition for me. This is something I've been doing for 6 years. The first 3 and Forex, the last, since 2019, I've been trading crypto, leverage trading, exchange trading, a little bit of options, a little bit of this, that, the other, not really any stocks. But so the reason I think it's coming down to this level again, and I think it might just wick down there, kind of like how this did, right? Wick down, boom, took off. I think it might wick down, touch this level, and keep going. Now, what level does that mean for the rest of the market? Well, market cap wise, this is 718 billion. Right now, we're looking at about 100 or about one point. Again, we went over earlier. What was it? 1.08. Yeah, 1.08. Yeah, 1.08 trillion. And right now we're at we're at, oh my goodness. Right now we're at 1.08 trillion. Tyler, slow down, my guy. And then I think we're going to come down to the 718 billion. Again, that's why I believe so. Is that what's going to happen? I can't guarantee that's what's going to happen, right? You know, I'm not the market. I don't control the market. Unfortunately, if I did, I wouldn't be here. But let's go here. Cool. Got our zones back. So anyway, yeah, we got our last levels of support, and then we have our normal zone, right? Tyler, what is this normal zone? Well, let's say we go into the supermarket, right? We go into the supermarket, and let me ask you this question first. When you hear normal, what do you think? When you hear the word normal, what do you think? What what I think when I hear normal is I hear what happens most of the time, what normally happens. So let's say you go into a supermarket, right? And you see normal, or you're looking at we're looking at hot sauce, right? You go in there, you usually see like super hot, burns your ass hot, super sweet, something along the lines like that, right? But when I hear normal, or you don't really hear normal hot sauce, but when I hear normal, I hear what tends to happen, right? You think what tends to happen. So with the fib tool, what normally happens, what tends to happen most of the time is the market will come in the 50% 618 zone and it'll continue up. Doesn't happen every time. And this is why I say I like to read and react, not guess and gamble. When I say read and react, right, we're waiting for this to retest. When it does, I can react. If I guess that it was just going to go up and it, could have faked me out. A lot of the times happens more in Forex. Crypto is becoming a little bit more manipulated how Forex is, but that's a whole nother story. So, but with this fib tool, I like to use it because you can really tell what's going to happen inside the market. So we have the last level supports, right? It breaks through here. These are our last level supports. If it breaks below here and retests for the downside, we can look for it to continue down. I don't think that's going to happen here, obviously, but that's what normally happens. It's a funny word, normal. So then we have the normal zone, right? So when it comes through here on a trending market, it usually continues up, and that's the normal zone. Now we have the 38.2 and the 23.6 level. Now at these levels, let's say the market comes down, right? So we have, again, 100% of the move from this bottom to this high, and we retrace. So now let's say we're in this uptrending market, and it comes down and only retraces to this 23.6 level, right? Which is 23.6% of our 100% of the move, right? We're just measuring this move. And then we measured down, right? So we went down to this level, which is 23.6% down from this 100%. Now, what normally happens here, if it comes down and respects this level, is we have a strong uptrend. We're going to be moving with power. Now, is that always what happens? No, it's just normally what happens. This is a pattern. This is pattern recognition. This is something I've been using for a very long time, 6 years. Really, I would say in the past 4 to 5 years, I've really used this quite a bit. But this is what normally happens on the 23.6 line. Now, if it came down to here, we have like a medium. We're looking like not like a super strong trend up, but we're looking like at a medium strong trend continuing up. Again, when we see the 50% 618 zone, that's a normal. If it comes down here, this is where we could see potentially a reversal in the market. So I just want to kind of go over that because I'm going to be going over a couple more charts here and kind of break down, a little bit of what I see here in the market. The first thing I wanted to go to was what we were on actually, which is the total market cap. And Nelson, are you on here still? What's up, my man?
How's it going, man?
Good, bro. Good. Just doing my thing, bro. In the zone.
Nice, man. Yeah, I thought I'd bring my cow face on here and just, listen to what you got,
I appreciate that, bro. Thanks for hopping on, man.
Of course.
But yeah, so just kind of covering a little bit of how I leverage and margin trade, a little bit how I use the tools. What we were just covering was actually the total market cap. Now the total market cap, if we're expecting, right, and this is where the guessing kind of comes in handy. So I'm not like explaining this directly to you, Nelson, but that might have sounded like it was. I was just kind of going back into it.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
But if we're expecting, right, if we're expecting the market to continue down, especially in the total market cap, what does that mean for the rest of the coins? Potentially we see them moving down as well. or losing some volume. Now, is that exactly what's going to happen? No, some thrive in the bear market, some don't do so well in the bull market. Again, it's not exactly always right. You have to go with the patterns. It's a game of probability, really. Right off the bat, if you're leverage trading, you're sitting at about 50%. It's already better than most people's really percent in return it for anything. So right off the bat, you guess you're at 50%, but we don't like to just guess. We want to have, some actual analysis on the market, some things, and again, news from Decrypt. There's things I like to cover here. We're not covering that so much today, but a lot of things like that do play into effect, like the BlackRock things we were just sharing a little bit ago. So if we're expecting, now we don't know this for sure, right? We're just kind of thinking we're creating a story with the markets. This is really what I'm doing, right? So we're creating a story. The first thing I like to do is come to this total market cap, because on the total market cap, that's every coin in crypto is in here from my understanding. I don't know, every coin total, ever, but I would say majority of the coins, maybe all of them, depending on where it comes from. Where is this actually at? What does it say? On CryptoCap, calculated by TradingView. Normally it'll kind of tell you, but because you can actually pick on here each exchange. So you could pick obviously two different Shibas, but for example, this one's Binance and this one is Coinbase. But I like to look at this total market caps because again, it gives you're able to kind of create a story if you can again kind of create two things that are going to happen, because again, you're at 50%. It's either going to go up or down. I'm not going to sit here and only mark for one way. We got to prepare if it goes up or down. And if you're margin trading or leverage trading, you don't care which way it goes. You just want to be able to catch the entry, right? You want to have a semi-decent entry. You want to get a sniper entry for the most part, but that doesn't always happen that way. Maybe some zone. The other thing I like to look at is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now you can see we're at 309, almost 400 billion. And then here we're at a trillion. So you could see Bitcoin and Ethereum make up majority of the market cap. Now, without them, we're sitting here. So this it will give you a little bit better understanding of what's happening for altcoins. I like to look at it as well. I don't really fully break it down or use it in my stories much for majority of the crypto, but it is good to keep an eye on too. I like to mark it up, kind of just have it there, really just to look at. I don't spend a lot of time trading, and most people think, when you're investing or trading full time, which is what, most of us are working up to, they think you're trading like 20 hours a day. I don't want to sit behind a computer 20 hours a day. I want to, live life like majority of us do. I want to be able to mark this up and be patient and come in here and be like, oh, yo, cool, it's at my zone. Let's see what happens, read and react. So those are the total market caps. From there, I like to go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's my next go-to. This is my personal chart here, which is what I normally mark up. So it's kind of crazy. So I like to mark this one up here for you guys because it's a little less intense. So what I'll do is I'll just delete everything. Sometimes when I do this, I'm like emotionally attached to my drawings on there. I'm like, oh my God, I have to redraw this. So let's see. So we're gonna measure these moves, right? So from this bottom, and I'm on the week chart, right? The week chart, I like to usually start from the monthly, but I'm gonna go from the weekly here. It's really not gonna change too much. I'll show you. Pretty much the same bottom. We're using the lowest candle. Doesn't matter. So say this candle came down a little bit lower right here. I'll be using this candle and not the wick, right? This candle actually came down right here. And then we're going to use the highest candle and the highest or the lowest candle. So the lowest candle, highest candle, but we're going to use the wick of the highest or lowest candle. That's how I'm using this. So again, we have our normal zone, which I like to just mark up right off the bat. You can have it just pretty much repetition, muscle memory, really. Most of the time we can, after marking this up for a long time, you can kind of just look at it and be like, yo, that's at the 50% 618 zone. We're literally at the 78.6, bro. We're literally last level support number one. And look at that. Crazy, right? Imagine that. So we're at the last level support here. Again, I think if we're looking for the total market cap to continue down, right? If that's what we think is going to happen, I don't really want it to happen, but if that's what we think is going to happen, right? We're creating that story. It could potentially come back down here again. Now we're looking at the 17,000, and honestly, I'm using the zone. I think it could potentially come down here in the zone. I think my opinion is really somewhere around here on this level. I don't think it's going to go too much lower than that, but again, that's my opinion. The market doesn't care who I am or what I think. That's just based off my trading and experience from the past. So really, I think we're going to go lower. We're not going to go much lower than this black line, but it could potentially come down to this other last level support. It could continue down even. I don't think it's going to continue down, but it could. And until we get there and see what actually happens, we don't know. So all we can do, read and react, put our technical analysis on there, check out the news, see anything major happening, and continue what's going on. Now, awesome thing about this, right? So again, I was talking about the trading, right? Margin and leverage trading. When you're already at a 50% when you're just guessing, it's either going up or down. Well, guess what? We're going to mark it on the way down too. So highest candle, we're going to use that wick. Lowest candle, we're going to use that wick, which is right there. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, if I'm expecting it to go lower, right? If I'm expecting it to go lower, I think, right, we're measuring this move 100%. If we're expecting to go lower, what would normally happen? Well, Tyler, what normally would happen is it would retrace to this 50% 618 zone and continue down, right, in a trending market. Well, we're kind of in a trending market, and technically we're in a defined trend market. We have a low, a lower low, a higher low. So we are doing it backwards, and then another lower low, and then another higher low. So we have what we need we met the requirements for a technical trend. So we have that trend and we're in that normal zone. So if I'm expecting if I'm expecting the market to do what it normally does, I would expect it to come back up and retrace. Now, what I just told you guys with the BlackRock news, right? I don't think I have it pulled up here, but the BlackRock news is they bought, or well, they didn't buy. So they partnered with Coinbase. I think it was the day or the day after some random whale, BlackRock, ooh, I'm choking on something, potentially bought $3 billion OTC, which doesn't affect the market, only affects the market if they buy it off the exchange. Bitcoin's worth more. That's the actual exchanging rate. That's what it exchanges for, right? So we're at this exchange rate. If you buy it off the exchange, it affects the exchange rate. If you buy it OTC from the miners, it's already in circulation. It's part of circulation. You're not affecting the market. So when you buy it OTC, right? This whale buys 3 billion. And then what happens if they dump that 3 billion into Coinbase? Randomly Coinbase, right? If it happens to be Coinbase, I would be so surprised. BlackRock, that would be an amazing move on your play. But if they amazingly dumped it into an exchange, it affects the exchange price, meaning what happens? The price drops. Normally what we see happen is it would retrace back up, but that doesn't mean we're at the end of our move here, right? We're kind of banking on this being the low, and same thing with the high, right? When we were measuring this being the high on the way up, we were banking on this being the high, because we didn't know at the moment, right? Let me click this right here. So I replay thing right there. See, so when we marked it from right here, you don't know that that's the last high, right? So let's play it back. So boom, okay. Well, it could potentially come back up and create more highs. Well, guess what? It didn't. So we're banking on this, right? We can only read and react. If we're guessing and gambling, or if we're guessing, we're gambling. We can read and react or guess and gamble. And obviously, we get a little bit better results when we read and react. You got to control your emotions and be patient in the market. Those are two of the most important things to control. Along with discipline and not being a chicken. But you can see as it's playing along, right? Okay, cool. We're kind of realizing that's probably the high. Well, we're doing the same thing on the way down at the moment, right? We're kind of banking on that being the low. Oops, how do I not do that? Yeah, confirm. We're done with that. Cool. So we're banking on this being the low. Is that potentially it? No. We're just banking on that being it. So if it does go lower, if this whale, BlackRock, dumps this 3 billion in Coinbase, which would be some miracle show, right? Some miracle movie. It could potentially come lower, and that could now be our low, right? That we would measure. Right now, the only data we have to move off of is this. So normally what we would see happen from here is it would come up in here and retrace. But this is why we don't guess and gamble, because things like BlackRock or this whale buying 3 billion worth of Bitcoin OTC. It doesn't affect the market. But what happens when they sell it all? It affects the market. They could drop price. They could manipulate the market potentially. So that's something to keep in mind when trading, guys. You want to remember, and I come from the Forex space, so it's a little bit easier because Forex was always manipulated by the banks. It was literally just the banks trading and making money. And a lot of people don't realize is a bank is a business. They're not just like some friendly neighbor, like, yeah, we'll store your money, bro. We'll just securely hold your money for, no, they're literally using your money to trade in the foreign exchange market and make, thousands of percents. And then they give you that nice fat 0.01% APY, and you're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Crazy. So the Forex space is a lot more manipulated than crypto originally was. But we can see now that Coinbase, which is literally, they own pretty much everything in the world, the world's largest asset manager. They manage like 20 trillion in assets. Literally the entire market cap of crypto. They could move the entire market cap of crypto with $1 trillion. Half a trillion. Like, like they could literally manipulate. So yeah, you have to keep some things like this in mind. You have to remember, or even if you don't know, right? Sometimes the problem is we don't know. There's actually I was at one of these crypto meetups, and I was talking to this dude, and he says something about ignorance, right? He says there's these two young fish, they're swimming, they're talking, and this old fish swims by. He says, "Hey boys, how's the water?" And the two young fish look at each other like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, what's water, bro?" They don't even know, right? So they have no idea the mindset, right? If you don't know and you're trading like majority of everybody else, we can go like this. Watch Google. What percent of, it's like 90%, I think. Now, look. Am I surprised? No, because majority of the people go to the same place, get the same information, and they're trading like each other, trading like people, not like the banks. You have to think and trade like the banks. You have to understand the market psychology, which I don't know if I put in the chat yet, but if I didn't, let me actually pull it up. It's super valuable. Like this. But these are things to keep in mind when looking at these markets, because we don't know for sure what's going to happen. Again, I base my entire trading off reading and reacting. Like if I used to guess and gamble, what happened was I lose. Sometimes you'd win and be like, yeah, heck yeah. And you do it again, you lose your whole winnings. You're like, oh my God, what happened? And then you get emotional and you try to revenge trade, and now you're losing more money. And it's a spiraling effect. You don't want to get into that. So these are really, really important. Let me look like this. Share. Oh, not that. Go. Stop. Oh, bro, I just realized now I understand what you're saying with the cow. That's so funny. So
Yep.
yeah, we have the market psychology. Hopefully you can see this. So we have the market psychology, and this is important to understand. Right now, I would say we could potentially even be right here in this panic, right? Everyone's selling and need to get out. Most people might be thinking like that. A lot of people, sat right here and wrote it down and watch their entire investments pretty much leave. You had your stuff in Luna, the stuff left quicker than, shipping at Amazon. So we have the right here, I'm 100% getting out of the markets. I can't afford to lose more than your anger. Who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? Little did you know, it was the government who made it happen. And then, right, you're over here, depression. Oh my God, my retirement money's lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I'm an idiot. And then you feel like shit. You're beating yourself up. And then boom, what happens is rise itself up. The bank gets in, and you got that fast money. The fast money is usually the banks. And sometimes it's, especially in the Forex market, it's easy to see. In the crypto market, it's starting to become easier to see. It's becoming more Forex-ish when it comes to manipulation. But as far as that goes, I mean, this is kind of what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. It's kind of what I'm seeing with the entire, market in general. It's just, again, this is my opinion. It could be completely wrong. We can go to 100K tomorrow, and everybody's wrong. But this is just things to keep in mind. I want to cover a couple more things here. Nelson, is there anything you want to say or cover or questions on, bro?
Not at the moment. I'm having to audit someone's really terrible attempt at a smart contract. So that's why if you're not If you're not a developer, you don't know what you're doing in the smart contract development industry, just pay people and just get the smart contract done so you don't screw people over.
Facts, facts, bro. Let's see. Flow. Oh my goodness. So every other Friday, I got to do it tonight because I forgot to do it this past Friday. Every other Friday I was doing a poll on Instagram and we buy in. Flow, as you can see, we didn't get our best entry on Flow. We're riding the wave down. Maybe tonight we'll ask what do we want to do with our Flow investment? Do we double down? And then I think the other one we had it was Dot, potentially Dot. Let me see. No, I don't remember what it was. But these are two that I'm mainly keeping an eye on. Omi is another project. I like this project's partnered with like DC, Marvel, um, Powerpuff Girls, like a bunch of other, like Disney things, like along the line like that. And it's pretty much partnered with an app called Vivi, and they use Omi, which is this token, to convert your gems or your US dollars on the Vivi app to crypto. So super cool. I like this project. You can see it's had its wave pretty much. I don't know if this is since the beginning or just what we have here on TradingView, but I like that project. We got Tezos or Bezos. XRP still doing its thing. It's pretty much a stable coin. Let's see, Sushi. Solana spell. Yo, spell token is by far one of my worst trades in history. Luckily, I never put that. I exchange traded. I bought it here, and here. Luckily, I only put like 50 bucks in it because it was one of those lower cap projects, and like literally, I watched that puppy ride all the way down. The market psychology thing, like I literally, that was me. I'm like, I'm such an idiot, down there at the depression spot. We got Solana kind of still chilling here, consolidated in the zone. We're below the last level of support on the on here. So really what I'm looking for is something to break above. I'm not really so bullish on Solana. Obviously, I don't think it's crashing anytime soon, but I gotta see we gotta see what's happening there. SLP, Smooth Love Potion. Oh my goodness. Sandbox. Let's see. And looks. We got looks still chilling, consolidated down here too. I like looks. I'm bearish on looks. I like the platform in general. I like it better than OpenSea, and I like how they actually reward you. Speaking of looks, what's their rewards? The rewards are pretty decent. I mean, I don't know how long or sustainable they are, but 50% APY for staking looks. On top of it, if you're selling NFTs, they on OpenSea and you're not getting rewarded, they reward you for coming here. You can also stake it here. I think they pay you in wrapped Ethereum and also looks. Yep. And then here they're just paying you in more looks. So super cool. I like the project. I'm bullish on it, but as far as their token, I mean, the token's not doing so hot, but I like the actual platform. I just like it better because they're providing value. So Chainlink. This is another project I'm actually. Goodness, cats over here destroying shit. Link is another project I enjoy. I enjoy this project because it follows my technicals very very well. I've made a decent amount off Link right now. You can see we broke back above this old last level of support. Really, I want to see it hold that level and maybe break above that monthly level right here. Meaning, we're going to break above here. And margin trading wise, I want to see it break above retest, and that would potentially where I would see an entry there. And it wouldn't really be a long-term entry. I would next pretty much ride this thing like a staircase to the next level, which would be the first last level of support long term. You can see we're on a weekly level. If you're short term trading, you can still use these levels or major levels, but you can see from this is a pretty large move still. Just depends on whether you're intraday trading, swing trading, scalping, whatever you're doing. So we have the Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I like this. You can see Ethereum has a little bit of dominance over Bitcoin. So really the best way for me to describe this is because of Forex. So when you have pairs like this, right? Normally these are paired like Ethereum US dollar. Now this is paired with Ethereum to another crypto. So if the market goes up because Ethereum's first, Ethereum's increasing in value, right? And if it goes down, Ethereum's decreasing in value. Now, same thing with Bitcoin. Now, this isn't always necessarily true. It's kind of more or less dominance based, but it's easier for me to describe it how Forex works, if that makes sense, I guess. Now, same thing on the flip side, though. So Bitcoin, right? If it goes up, Bitcoin is losing value. If it goes down, Bitcoin is gaining value, right? If Bitcoin was first, it would be flip-flopped. Hopefully that makes a little more sense. Dot is actually the one we got that IG buy-in. We bought right here. We're actually up like 20% from our original buy-in. Long-term wise, I like Polkadot. I participated in some parachain auctions they had. And we can kind of see we're somewhat respecting the trend. I mean, we could even move this a little bit. But somewhat respecting the trend. We kind of had a little bit of fallout there, but we're still even above these last level supports. Even if we like this, let me move this. We're pretty much sitting at that last level support. So what I would like to see for DOT is really for it to maintain above my Instagram buy-in level. No, I'm just kidding. That's really just where I bought in. But I would like for it to stay above the trend, if not just this last level of support, and to see that continue up. Again, if we're looking for the market to move down, you got to remember the market moves down, the total market cap is losing value. People are pulling crypto out. What does that mean for coins? Most likely losing value, meaning going down. So you got to keep that in mind too. Long term, I mean, not even long term, I would say like medium term. Again, I think with the total market cap, guys, I think potentially we could come down. Let me pull this back up on a weekly. Something maybe. Let me fix this. There we go. I think we potentially come down here again to this level. And again, if that's true, that would mean some coins could potentially lose value. So keeping that in mind, this could happen in a short time frame. It could happen in a long time frame. Each of these candles is 1 month. So I mean, you've seen how much something could do in 1 month. It could potentially come down, wick down 1 month, and boom, it touched it, and we're off. I don't think we're going to sit down at that level very long. If we go down all the way there, it's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. But that's kind of my outlook here on the current market state. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Nelson, is there anything you want to say, or any questions you have before I stop the recording here?
No, sir, I'm good. Thank you very much for asking.
Appreciate you, man. With that being said, guys, appreciate you. The recording will be uploaded to the YouTube, and we'll see you soon.